Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Citrus Episode 7. Let's go through talking about this one. For those of you thinking I might shit on it because it was a little NTR-ish, I guess, if you look at it a certain way, I'm not going to shit on it. I thought it was quite good. I don't mind this at all. I thought it was really good, actually, but that aside, let's start talking about what actually happened. So, starting from the beginning, I need May in love, please. The little sort of fantasy-ish that Yuzu had at the beginning, I was like, I need this May. This is the May I want. So also then the opening hit, and I wanted to put in here that because I don't think I've talked about the opening very much here, other than noticing the two girls were added in partway through the show. But I still love the opening a lot because I listened to NaNoWriMo's music ever since, I guess there were a few shows I heard their music in, but I had listened to their songs like just outside of anime stuff before this because I actually really like them. So for them to do this opening, I'm happy for that, and for it to turn out to be a really good opening. I just enjoy it a lot. It's one of my favorite openings this season. But either way, so May is clearly in love, we see this episode, but is continually putting it off. She keeps being like, okay, no, we're both women and we're sisters, we can't do this. And we've seen earlier in the series, she has kind of the cold exterior. She's been abandoned kinda before by her father in a way. So she isn't really willing to jump straight into all of this. Or at the very least, she loves Yuzu, but she's like, I don't know, it is because they're both women and they're sisters. Maybe she just, because of the whole taboo nature of it, she's really trying to hold herself back or whatever. But I feel like putting it off is wasting her time, because she's like, okay, I can't get distracted with this. We need to do good in school. I need to take over the school, whatever, after my grandfather or whatever. But I feel like because she's so preoccupied with this romance not working out, it's wasting their time when they could just solve it, get together, be girlfriends, I guess, and just do whatever you were doing without that distraction of the whole unrequited love distracting you. So either way, that's sort of the story they're telling with May's character here, but it takes an interesting twist because of Matsuri, who we get to see meet back up with Yuzu here, and they were childhood friends. One thing that was triggering me with Matsuri, that was her name, right? Yeah, Matsuri. I was like, I better be sure I'm not getting that wrong. But she kept putting the headphones on over her hair, and for any of you that have had long hair, whether you're guys or girls out there, if you've had long hair, you know you cannot just like put headphones over it, or like put like headphones, the ones in your ear with hair in there. Like, no, that is the worst thing ever. So to see her doing that, I was like, it was triggering me really bad. I was like, Matsuri, don't do this. Also, she's a middle schooler apparently, but to me she looks like Mei and Yuzu's age, so either way. And she talks about her job pretending that she's sending naked pictures to herself and videos to old men for them to give her money. That's child porn, Matsuri. You cannot be doing that. That is not safe for work. I loved one part that made me laugh a lot. I think this may have been the funniest episode from a comedy perspective. I feel like I remember laughing more this episode than I have before in this show. But when Yuzu takes her drink and Matsuri brings up to girls kiss girls at all girls schools, and she just does this really long exaggerated spit take. It seemed, again, out of the ordinary for this show, but I thought it was really funny. May sees that Yuzu did well on her tests, so she knows that A, she was honest with her about what the kiss meant. She wasn't really honest with her, but Yuzu thinks maybe that at least. So Yuzu did well on her tests like she said she would. And now Matsuri is obviously trying to mess up Yuzu's day. She's trying to hold her back so she doesn't get home on time because she needs to buy food before she goes there. She's just basically trying to make her late. She's trying to drive a wedge between her and May, probably out of jealousy herself or out of a feeling of abandonment. But I don't mind this at all, because I think it works out in an interesting way. It's obvious that that's what Matsuri's doing, but I don't hate the character like sort of how a lot of Netsuzo Trap or NTR was, or a lot of how the teacher stuff at the beginning of the show was. I don't really hate the character. I found the story understandable. I think that Matsuri might actually like Yuzu, but I doubt it. I think that she is probably just playing her because she feels abandoned or left out. And perhaps there's even some deeper things in her past that we're going to find out about. But I'm actually okay with it because Mei sees them kiss or whatever, and I feel like that jealousy might make Mei open up and be honest about her feelings, so it's kind of a necessary evil that leads to Mei and Yuzu being in love, so I'm okay with it. Next came the scene where I almost had to pause the show because I was laughing for a good minute after they said it, but when Mei tries to get all intimate up behind Yuzu, and Yuzu turns on her really quick, and she just says, I think the quote was exactly like, "Be careful, I'm holding a plate." I died at that line. Just of everything, she turns on her so dramatically, and like is guarding herself like, "Be careful, I'm holding a plate." I thought it was great. Whether she meant it as "plate is now a weapon" or "I might drop it and break it," I think it was killing me either way. But I was laughing so hard at that. And then the next day, Harumin gets the story of what all happened from Yuzu. And poor Harumin was just trying to protect Yuzu. And then angry Mei mode because of Matsuri showing up there. And that's kind of where we end off. We see Yuzu trying to get Matsuri to leave. Matsuri kicks over a sign and then calls people to come clean it up. Just basically being kind of a nuisance. But it's not like bad guy evil nuisance. It's more like cry for attention sort of nuisance. So that's, I guess, everything that happened there. But yeah, like I said, the stuff with Matsuri doesn't really bother me at all, like the NTR stuff or the teacher stuff. Because I think Matsuri likely has good reasons. She either feels like she's being left behind or abandoned by Yuzu, or perhaps there's some stuff in her past, maybe even abuse. People just don't go and do the crazy child porn stuff that she is doing, which is very, very sketchy, not safe for work, and dangerous. Don't do this under any circumstances, any younger people that are watching my video. That is very not good, Matsuri. Yeah, she might have had some abuse in her past that we're going to find out about. She might just have that feeling of abandonment. Maybe her parents pay no attention to her. But Matsuri likely has good reasons for just trying to get Yuzu's attention, pretty much. We also sort of have reached this point where I feel like we know Yuzu's feelings really clearly. She says throughout the episode in her monologues that she really loves Mei. Mei even calling her makes her so happy she could cry. She is completely in love with her, hasn't thought about the future, but doesn't really care. She just wants to cherish being with Mei. So, of course, I don't know how the future is going to work out, but I would hope that screw taboo, the two sisters get together. Screw the taboo of homosexuality, just be together. It's 2018. But yeah, seriously, just be together. So, yeah. We know Yuzu's feelings, her side of this, but I think that all this stuff with Matsuri is kind of the antagonistic stuff, the next struggle in the story, and this hair falling out of my head is really bothering me now. But it could help Mei be honest about her feelings and lead to everything working out. Once Matsuri is honest with Yuzu about how she feels, we could have a situation where now Yuzu has a close friend in Matsuri, and she has a romantic interest, possibly even girlfriend in Mei, and things could all work out between them. So, I mean, I think did we see that in the opening, the four of them hanging out? So that's even a possibility. So, I think that things will work out, and I think that this is just the rough stuff to lead to the better stuff. And since it is obviously leading somewhere, I don't mind it at all. Also, a ton happened this episode, and this is a show where even though it is a romance kind of a slice of life, it's not an action or like really serious drama. Sorry, it's really bothering me. Even though it's not anything super serious like that, there's always a lot happening, which isn't always the case for slice of lives, because they're just sort of chill. But I like that. I like that there's always a lot of content in each episode. So, though this wasn't exactly perfect, and it's far from my favorite episode, I think last episode was my favorite, I still thought it was really, really good. In judging the scores I gave to previous episodes, I think this one should go about like an 8.75 plates out of 10. 8.75 out of 10 because I still thought it was quite good. I like all the content we're getting. I love the show in general. I need Yuzu and Mei to just be together already. Yeah, I guess that's it. Like if you did like the video, it's bothering the hell out of me. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more. Subscribe for more Citrus, much more on the channel. Also doing Mitsubishi Colors this season, Kokoku, tons of other things on the channel. What else? Yeah, I guess subscribe for more just anime manga stuff. Follow on Twitter if you want, so I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server, ask and I'll give you one. That's it. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see you all next time.